to the Downright Upright Show, the place to go to hear out loud and proud what people like you are thinking. My name's Philip Anthony. Thank you so much for joining us today and every Saturday at 5 p.m. here on AM 950. And I hope everyone out there is feeling fantabulous, because fantabulous is fantastic and fabulous put together twice as nice, and it also saves some time, right?
It's very efficient.
It's very efficient. So my special guest today is Brian Rains, a former candidate for a seat in the State House in District 34A. Correct, Brian?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. I want to make sure I got the number right.
Yeah.
Mathematics was not my specialty.
If you check with my bank, they'll tell you it's not mine too.
Yes. And also Brian was a guest on my show in August of last year, and we both joined the Mutual Admiration Society. That's how I got to meet you that first time, and I adored you. You had such a wonderful personality. You have such a wonderful personality. Not had. That was terrible.
It's fine.
And so now you're here with me again because, I'm never going to leave you.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to keep summoning you whenever I want to talk politics.
I enjoyed our conversation together and the ones that we've had when we've met out in the wild. So I'm happy to sit down with you.
Yeah, we met in the wild. Yeah, we met at Bloomington Pride, I want to say it was, right?
Yeah, or no, it was Burnsville.
Well,
Burnsville Pride.
I get those two confused. I don't know.
They both start with B and they're not far from each other.
Yes. Okay. Well, welcome to the Downright Upright Show, Brian. How are you?
I'm good, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm making it. I'm still here. It's. I have to say this before we start the show.
Okay.
I am a very positive person usually.
Okay.
I tried to, but since this human became president, I've been very stressed out, just because of. Now we're in a war, and the subsidies were not given to people on Medicaid, so now they have to pay more for their health care. The ice incursions in the Twin Cities and around Minnesota. I mean, there's a litany of things. I could go on and on and on about it.
Yep, and we could have a lot of conversation about that.
Yes, that's why I have a plethora of questions for you today to talk about. But you were on the show last year. Could you remind the audience a little bit about your background so they can remember who you are?
Sure. I was a candidate for the Minnesota House in District 34A. I live in Rogers. The district is made up of Rogers, Dayton, and Champlin. It is a purple district that is trending toward the blue. We've got a lot of great candidates up there. We got a lot of great activists up there. We've got a great Senate district and the Senate district chair that are doing an incredible amount of work to change the dynamics and the political makeup of that district. So myself, I'm a union carpenter. Well, I'm union millwright. I'm a member of the Carpenters Union, and a third generation member. Served in the Navy for a few years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was my honor. And I say that genuinely. It was my genuine honor to serve the country and the people of the United States.
I'm going to interrupt you. You know why?
Okay.
I want to say this because I get pissed. Democrats love the military. I don't know why we're pigeonholed. Do you hear that? Oh, you're a Democrat. I've heard this. People say this to me on my socials. You're a Democrat. You hate the military.
I've heard that quite often. That? I do. Yeah.
What the heck is that about?
I think.
Where do they get this stuff from?
I think when you have the Republicans who often want to send the military to war, like we're seeing now.
Yeah.
And then you have the Democrats that they want a level of accountability. Not just from the administration, but they also want our service members to serve with honor and dignity. And when they're holding people accountable that make mistakes or do things that are wrong, the Republicans spin it as if the Democrats hate the military. And there's nothing that could be further from the truth. I don't know any Democrats that hate the military. I do know some that would like to see more accountability in the administration. They'd like to see more financial accountability as well, because we give our military an insane amount of money at the detriment of our society, in my opinion. And when Democrats are critical or less than enthusiastic about just letting the military do what they want to do, I think that's where that criticism comes from. I think that's the same criticism that Democrats face when it comes to law enforcement. Democrats do not hate law enforcement. Democrats love and respect our law enforcement, our cops.
Yes.
But when
thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. It's the truth.
Yeah, because we let them lead with the narrative, and we have to stop that nonsense.
I agree.
We have to stop that nonsense. It's nonsense.
It is.
And I say that Pete Hegseth is like a man in a bathtub with a toaster plugged in and playing with the toaster in the bathtub, because he's so dangerous to me.
Yes.
Sending boys to can you explain why we're doing this? Did Iran throw a bomb on us or something? What happened that we all of a sudden decided to attack a country? Obviously, they're a terrible regime. I'm not going to sit here and defend them, but we're not going to attack every country we don't like, are we?
It seems to me that we attack every country that Israel doesn't like.
Oh, okay.
Right, like when you look at this, there's.
Do you think Netanyahu twisted his arm?
I
wouldn't blame Israel as a country. I blame the leader of the country. I think he's a mess.
Yes, that's fair, right? Because we've talked about how Democrats get blamed and labeled as anti-military if they're critical of the military, or if they want accountability with law enforcement. Like when law enforcement, I don't know, murders people in front of a camera, whether it's George Floyd, Renee Good, Alex Preddy, then all of a sudden Democrats don't like cops, right? And so now we're talking about Israel, and you're correct. We should be talking about Benjamin Netanyahu and his government, because
the United States, we have the same issue going on.
Correct.
They don't like Americans.
Correct.
But it's not the Americans they should not like.
So being
too many negatives,
being critical of them is not anti-Semitism.
It should be Trump.
Yes,
that's the person leading our country.
Correct.
We're not representing him. He's representing us.
Correct.
And he is a mess.
Yes.
And I think that we have to divorce those two things. So don't look at all Israelis as Netanyahu, and don't look at all Americans as Donald Trump. It's the same thing. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I do, and I completely agree with you. And I think before we go any further, you said that you're genuinely a good person, and you were. I
hope so.
And a happy person.
Yes.
And you referred to the current occupant of the White House as a human.
He is a human.
That's
the only thing I could use to describe him right now. That won't throw me off the air.
So we won't go into my description of him then, right? I'm not as good of a person as you. I am.
Well, no, you're better than me. Believe me, I love you.
I do. I am.
You know that, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and it's mutual, and
that's what I said. We both joined that Mutual Admiration Society. But I want to piggyback on the, because you served in the U.S. Navy.
Yes.
And I want to ask you a question about the military.
Okay.
And the Iranian conflict. I'm going to call it a war.
Okay.
They want to call it what does he call it?
An excursion.
It should be an incursion, but okay. I think he means incursion. He says excursion, but he's a hot mess, like I said. If you look over there and you see that board, okay, and you look over there, you see a window. Now, if I break the window here and I start causing damage, and I say, "Look over there,"
yes,
is that what's happening with Iran right now? Do you think the Epstein files have anything to do with this, or the ICE incursions, or tell me? I don't know. I could be crazy. I don't know.
I do. I think they're using the incursion in Iran as a distraction, for the Epstein files.
Yes.
When when they invaded and occupied Minnesota, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, and that is how I refer to it. When you put 3,000, as they call themselves, kitted out paramilitary groups that are chasing and murdering citizens in the streets, and we can say that it was a murder because the medical
Oh, yeah.
examiner classified both of those shootings as murders.
Of course.
When you see that was intended to be a distraction from the Epstein files.
Yeah.
At first.
Yes.
Then the occupation of Minnesota got so out of hand, they had to release millions of Epstein files as a distraction from the operation in Minnesota.
Yes.
Then they did a drawdown in Minnesota, but keep in mind there are still hundreds and maybe up to 1,000 of these agents still in Minnesota. We're still seeing vehicles delivered to the Whipple building. We're still seeing constitutionally questionable, I'm being generous, arrests taking place. We still have constitutional observers, everyday citizens out there risking their lives to protect their neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided that we were going to fire Greg Bavino. Then we fired Kristi Noem,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have Mark Wayne Mullen. And I don't know if you saw any of his testimony.
Yes.
I'm not sure that he's an upgrade from Kristi Noem, but in order to distract from all of this, we've decided to go over and use our tax dollars and our military to raise our fuel prices by bombing Iran.
Yes. But he said,
what are we doing here?
But he promised us no endless wars. The gas prices are going to go down. Food prices are going down.
Mm-hmm.
Energy prices are going down. Every single thing that he has mentioned, he hasn't done.
It's almost like people shouldn't have believed him. Right.
Well, it's gaslighting.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know what that means, right?
Yep.
You know.
I
saw the movie.
I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm looking at, for those who don't watch my show, they listen. I'm looking at a microphone right now, and I'm pointing at this microphone, and I'm gonna ask Brian, what is this?
That is a
and
microphone.
He's gonna say it's a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the administration is gonna go, this is a buffalo. This is a buffalo. Your eyes are deceiving you. What you saw on videotape with all those people from different vantage points, with especially, both. Well, I'm not gonna say especially, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Renee Good had her tires completely turned to the right. There was a car to her right.
Mm-hmm.
A man's trying to pull her viciously out of her car.
Mm-hmm.
She's nervous. She's scared.
Right.
Visually, you could see it.
Yes.
And she starts the car, and the car is moving like to the right.
Mm-hmm.
The idiot is standing right in front of the car,
right?
Even though she's turning away from him, because if she really wanted to kill him, she'd turn the wheels to the left and run him over.
He put himself in front of her car. And you're
not supposed to, I'm not a cop, so I don't know, I'm just going from what I'm hearing, but what I'm hearing is cops are not supposed to stand in front of a vehicle when there's somebody in it.
Yes, sir.
You go to the window and say, can you roll down your window? Can I have your license and registration? That's a normal police officer.
Right.
But maybe
that's a well-trained police officer.
Correct. So everything we saw was, like, this is a microphone. No, it's a buffalo. So that's what I'm saying.
And the administration would like you to know that's the most beautiful buffalo that has ever buffaloed.
It's a buffalo. Yes. Anyway. So, So, and then, beside the Epstein files, obviously that's a distraction from that. Then you have the prices of energy. I want to make sure I have everything. Food costs, ICE, the war, everything that he does, demonizing the trans community, for example, then, the Black community, I want the voter rolls. All of this stuff it sounds very fascistic to me, but,
it checks a number of those boxes.
Yeah, it sure does,
like
Brian.
It's not debatable.
I never heard a president say that. I would like to see your voter rolls. I thought the states run elections. I never heard the federal government saying, guys, I don't like the way you're running your election. Give me your voter rolls. Are you out of your bird? I mean, it's insane.
Let's take a moment, as long as we're talking about voting, and bring up the SAVE Act that is making its way through Congress. Where
did it pass? I wasn't.
Hasn't yet.
Oh yeah, okay. Because I came to work this morning here, and I didn't want to turn the TV on. I had my questions I had prepared for you. I didn't want to get distracted, but so I guess it's to stay tuned. But by the time this show airs, it probably there will be a result. So we don't know.
And I'm
What do you think?
I'm hopeful that it doesn't pass. Unfortunately, the wrong people are in control of the House, the Senate, the White House, the Supreme Court.
That's why you got to get out and vote.
Oh my gosh,
You got no choice.
you have to vote.
You have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now, how do you feel about Congress's feckless response to wars by presidents past and present? For example, Bush, same thing.
Mhm.
We went through two wars actually through Bush. We had the Iraq War and the Afghan War.
Right.
What do you? Is this military industrial complex that Eisenhower talked about
Mhm.
in the 50s? Is this what we're going through right now that he warned us about?
Yes.
Okay.
In my opinion, yes, it is.
Yeah.
When we refer back to the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq, both of those wars they did go before Congress for approval, if I'm not mistaken. Afghans certainly did.
You're absolutely right.
Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders voted against it. There were some people that
Mhm.
did take some stands and vote against it.
Yes.
This one is not, and the lame Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Trump's little Johnson.
Yes, he has no intention of bringing anything before the House. I don't think John Thune in the Senate is going to bring anything as far as a resolution in support of or looking for approval.
Mhm.
And they're choosing to not do their constitutional duty. They're just
no
letting
check and balance,
Trump
yeah.
do this.
No check and balance.
None at all. There is no, if you are a Republican, there's no check. Like you said, there's no check, there's no balance, there's no accountability.
Guardrails, nothing.
There's
No.
just whatever you want. It is a complete abdication of their responsibilities.
Because it's like a toddler that's spoiled.
Yes.
That's in the playpen wants to come out and screaming, and a bad parent would just keep picking the child up when it's screaming,
Yes.
and then the child relates. Oh, I get what I want when I get picked up,
Right.
when I scream, and this is what's happening with Trump. Every time he says something, they jump.
Mhm.
And that's not a good way for to put guardrails on the executive. That's just my opinion, but I'm just a stupid talk show host.
I share that opinion.
Good. So what did you feel about this? They asked Trump what he thought about when he thought the Iran war was going to end, and this is a quote. When he feels it in his bones. Did you ever hear a president say that? What does that mean? When I feel it in my bones.
This president says a lot of things I have never heard any other president say.
I'm quoting this.
I know. I've seen that quote, and previously it was when I will only accept Iran's complete and total surrender. Like, we haven't had a complete and total surrender since Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So those quotes are insane.
Yeah,
they're completely irresponsible. This war is unnecessary and irresponsible,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion. We're throwing away the lives of brave and courageous American men and women.
Mm-hmm.
We are depleting our national defense. There's a ship from Japan on its way to the Gulf with, I believe, 3,500 members of the Marine Expeditionary Unit. That was in place to be a deterrent for China invasions into China, or from China into South Korea and Taiwan and Japan, and now we've weakened that region so that we can go over to the Gulf again with no clear objectives, with no reason to be there, only to raise everyone's fuel prices.
Yeah. Well, we're coming on the first break.
Okay.
Now. And I'm going to just talk one more thing after the break about the war and something that's, ancillary to it.
Oh.
My name is Philip Anthony. This is the Downright Upright Show here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. We'll be right back.
Keep me free from birth, give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load.
Okay.
A reign of tyranny in my hometown, and I hope to hell this will go down in the morning, and I hope to hell by the dawn's early light, and I hope to hell that the temperature starts warming.
I love that song. Oh my God. Welcome back to the Downright Upright Show. The gated community, Hope to Hell. Remember, go online, purchase the song. All the proceeds are going to help Minnesotans, Twin Cities people, the food deserts, and, you know,
I'm gonna have to download
that
that
are
song.
suffering.
That's a beautiful
Oh
song.
my God. The lead singer is a dear friend of mine. It's like my brother. I love him. Amazing people. They're really amazing people. Anyway, again, Hope to Hell by the gated community. So one more thing about the war.
Okay.
And this is to piggyback on that. I found it very interesting. And I want to hear what you think about this. Okay, I'm going to just read this to you, and you tell me what you think. Because I read this online in one of the major news. I think it's The Hill. Maybe I may have read it. Newly minted dimes. Have you heard about the dimes? The new dimes that are coming out.
I heard something about it.
Okay, listen to this. I'm going to die. Newly minted dimes have removed President Franklin Roosevelt's face because he's a liberal. He was probably the most liberal president we ever had, who made the country, the middle class, the strongest it's ever been in history, ended World War II,
right,
and gave us what? Social security, okay, for us, okay? So they took his face off, and also the olive branch from the talons of the eagle, and guess what? Now it's just an eagle with no FDR on the dime. What do you think that message is? What is he trying to say?
I think that he's trying to say that we are no longer a country that has a war and peaceful philosophy, because if I remember correctly, now I'm remembering the story that I briefly read. They left the arrow in the one talon, but they took the olive branch out.
The olive branch out,
and
which is peace.
Yes. Yep. And so now we're just a warmongering country, in their opinion. That's what they're advertising.
That's why it's the Secretary of War, not the Secretary of Defense anymore, right?
We should come back.
Department.
We should come back to that. Let's finish with the dime, right?
Let's go to the dime.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with you that by removing FDR's face, right, that they are trying to say that all of our social safety nets and our historic and our iconic leaders need to be erased, and we need to worship the authoritarian that we have.
Yes.
And it's insane on my part. Like that, I can't believe it. I see it and I do believe it, but I have trouble processing it, because for people that aren't seeing the path that we're on, it's like it's unbelievable. We have, if you have read anything that is in the Epstein files, like, oh my God, these are so, like, the worst horror movie that you could imagine, let alone watch,
Brian,
is The Appetizer. It doesn't touch what these people did.
You read my mind, because that was my next question about the Epstein files.
Okay.
So you I'm going to give you full reign here.
Okay. Well, let's finish on the Secretary of Defense.
Oh yes.
Right. And then I'll
go to the Epstein file.
I will try not.
We have so much to talk about.
I'll try not to get beeped out going into the Epstein files, because I get pretty excited about that, and not in a good way.
You could say fork. It's a utensil.
Yeah.
If you decide.
So Congress has to change the title of the cabinet secretary. So it's the Secretary of Defense. Now, they have chosen to call themselves the Secretary of War in the Department of War, but until Congress votes on it and changes it, it's the Department of Defense and the Secretary of Defense.
Well, yeah, that's it. Because it's just right now, it's just an executive order. They changed the name, like the Gulf of America is That's an executive order that can always be changed back
That's
after the next president comes
insanely foolish, and the rest of the world doesn't recognize it, nor do they have to.
along. Yeah, they don't
No.
know what it is.
Yes, and our friend, fellow Minnesotan Pete Kegseth, I think is how we should refer to him, is an embarrassment to the state.
Yeah,
I
tell
that's
him to stop playing with the electric toaster in the bathtub.
He is-
Please do that.
he is a bad
Mamma jamma.
bro hype man. Like clearly he's still a Fox News
Oh
host.
yeah, he
Like,
belongs
he's-
back on there. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
anyway,
So the Epstein files, right?
yes. Do
Um,
you want me to just introduce it to you, and then
Please.
you could take the ball and run with it? Maybe get a touchdown. I'm
Oh.
hoping for it.
all right. Well,
You know,
I'll try and bring my blood
I
pressure down a
want
little bit.
90
On
I
this
want
topic.
98 yards from
Ooh,
you on this.
All
one.
right.
All right. What are your thoughts about dozens of pages of documents in the Epstein files, including FBI interview summaries known as the 302 reports?
Mhm.
That's the name, the title, detailing sexual abuse allegations against you know who,
Mhm.
were withheld or removed from the public database
Mhm.
of the files released by the Justice Department. So that Pam Bondi lady is something's got to be done with her.
Mhm.
These allegations are from a woman who accused Epstein and you know who
Mhm.
of sexual assault. It's documented, and they repeatedly questioned her, the FBI. So if they thought she was faking it, they wouldn't have brought her back multiple times to interview her.
Correct.
So what's your take on that?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, those are sworn statements.
Yes,
Like under the penalty of perjury.
correct.
So,
Hmm.
um,
Yes.
this is it's a difficult subject to talk about politely.
It's disgusting, if you ask me.
At best, it's disgusting.
That's the best word I could think of right
When-
now
When
without getting beeped.
when some of the things that I've read,
Mhm.
and when I talk to some of my friends about them, or people that haven't read the files, and I'm like, well, try and avoid it for as long as you can. But at the end of the day, I think everybody is going to have to read some of it, if not all of it.
Hmm.
And with the millions of documents, clearly it is difficult to read.
Oh my God, I heard it's awful.
It's
I see. I don't even read it because I'd probably have to go, put my head over the toilet and vomit because it's just anytime an adult abuses a child, to me that is the worst crime you could ever do. Really.
it is, and that the level of abuse that these people committed on children,
Yes.
as young as infants,
13, 12.
infants,
Well, that young too. I've heard.
infants.
Yes. Mhm.
These are the most depraved people that have ever walked on the planet.
Oh God.
It is
100%.
it is insanely disgusting. It
Mhm.
is inhuman what was done. And when I talk to people about this, I catch myself and I'm like, man, I sound like the Alex Jones of the left. I'm not. I'm not. But the things that he said, as far out of left field as they were, they're actually in the files. How about this? How many years did we talk about how insane QAnon was, and the guy that shot up the pizza parlor in Pizzagate? Turns out they might have been right. They just had the wrong people involved.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein referred to Donald Trump as the worst person alive. He's the worst person I've ever met. Is in the emails back and
Yeah.
forth. Like, how bad of a person do you have to be to have the leader of a child sex ring and trafficking ring and child rapist and just rapist in general say that this is the worst person I've ever met? It's
Somebody like him calling him the worst person.
right.
That's rich. You
Right.
know, you got a pedophile
Yes.
calling our president.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
The worst person.
And-
I mean, I can't make
Right.
this stuff up.
And Steve Bannon is in there. Like,
Oh yeah.
and
Mhm.
is it Howard Lutnick that's also in there? I
Yes.
said, oh no, I went to his house. He had a massage table in the middle of the room, and it was the last time I ever went back to it. And they lived next to each other. But then he's taking his family on their
Right.
yacht
Right.
to Epstein Island. There is, we haven't even talked about the ranch in New Mexico, right? Most of the crimes, from the sounds of what's in the files, most of the crimes took place in Mar-a-Lago.
Well, remember he said that he was mad at Epstein, not about what he was doing.
Yes.
He must, at the very least, he knew what he was doing.
Yes.
He was mad that he stole his girls from Mar-a-Lago.
Correct.
What does that mean? Stole.
It means everything that you think it does.
Can't be stolen.
No. Well,
right?
Not legally. Right. Like that. It's
insane.
It's modern day slavery.
Yes.
And when you look at what other countries are doing, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, it's too crazy, none of this happened. The fact that other countries are prosecuting people that are in the files, removing them from power.
Yes.
Right. Even
the Brits took their prince.
Not just the Brits, the Saudis did.
And the Norwegians, there was a prime minister, I believe, an ex-prime minister that was.
Someone was supposed to become the princess and the queen, and they were like, "Yeah, no, you're not going to do that anymore."
Yeah, good.
So is there validity there? There absolutely is, and in my opinion, every American should be talking about this.
Yes.
Leading up to this last election, Trump and all of his Joe Rogan podcast bros, they couldn't talk about it enough. We need accountability. We need this. The Democrats need to be held accountable.
Crickets.
Now you've screwed up the country so much that his hand-picked attorney general had to release the Epstein files to distract us from the murders in Minnesota and the war in the excursion in the Middle East and Venezuela.
But they were redacted so heavily.
Yes.
You don't even know what the half of this stuff that went on.
Well, what they redacted.
They should have redacted the victims' names.
Yes.
And then the perpetrators their names shouldn't have been redacted.
Right.
Right. Am I crazy?
You're spot on. You're spot on.
Yes. Thank you.
It's anyway. But they left the pictures in there.
Yes.
Right. And they left a lot of the text of the emails in there. And it is some of the most.
It's I heard.
It's some of the most depraved things I've ever heard of. Yeah.
I mean, even if it's one anecdotal report, it's sick enough. But there's a myriad of things.
Yes.
In that file. So anyway, I have a long question to ask you here.
Okay.
So just bear with me while I read it to you, and it's a bit lengthy, and then I want your comment about it.
Okay. I have one quick question for you.
Oh yeah.
Did I take it to 98 yards?
You touchdown.
Okay. All right.
Touchdown.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. Your question, sir.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Senate Democrats, recently defeated a motion to proceed to a House-passed bill to reopen the Department of Homeland Security and end the 27-day shutdown that has hampered the functions of TSA and other critical agencies. Now, just as an anecdote on the side here, the Democrats want to open TSA. They want to open the Coast Guard and yada yada down the road. The Republicans, because they just say, let's do what do they call it? A motion to there's a term they use. Make a motion, and then if nobody, says no, then it goes through, and it would have been okay.
Sure.
So they would have funded all the TSA, and I got to remember the name of that thing. I wish I had a brain. I have so much in my head right now. So anyway, Democrats are demanding restrictions on immigration enforcement, such as limiting raids at sensitive locations, schools, churches, hospitals, and prohibiting officers from entering homes without judicial warrants. Sounds like a no-brainer to me, right? They are also pushing for targeted funding for agencies like TSA, FEMA, etc., which Republicans also have rejected, aiming to secure these services while negotiating broader policy changes. The Democrats are also demanding a ban on agents wearing masks to hide their identities, along with requiring body cameras. So all of these things that's the only thing that they want to talk about right now. They're not holding back funding for TSA and for the Coast Guard and FEMA. But the Republicans are really good at formulating their own narrative. Okay. Can you explain to me how we can get through this? with the American people knowing what's really happening, not what they're hearing from you know who.
Well, I think first off, we have to be talking about it. We have to be talking about it on shows
That's
like
why
this.
this show is here.
On podcasts, we need to be talking about it at the coffee shop, at the kitchen table.
Mhm.
And yes, Democrats would love to be funding TSA.
Yes.
The lines at the airport shouldn't be as long as they are. It should not be as cumbersome to get through the airport as it is. But it isn't Democrats that are holding it up. It's Republicans. Republicans control not only the House, but the Senate and the presidency. They could do whatever they want. And the Democrats are saying, well, we just want this one thing. The Republicans refuse to negotiate. They refuse to be good legislative partners. They refuse to be good stewards of the American taxpayers' dollars, and they refuse to work together in a bipartisan manner. And this is at the feet, of Republicans and Republicans only. It is not the job of the minority to capitulate to the majority's every whim. It is the minority's job to hold their values and hold the majority in check so that they cannot run rampant over the American taxpayer. And the American citizen, the things that you're talking about when we want it so that ICE can't enter people's houses without a judicial warrant. That's in the Constitution. We just want you to follow the Constitution.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The budget for ICE is larger than the budget for the Marine Corps. There's no shortage of money. There's no shortage of money for ICE. Now, ICE,
well, the big beautiful bill funded
Correct.
ICE over what any other president funded it at, and so they. I mean, if it's not going to stop ICE from doing what they're doing, but what we want it to do is to put guardrails on their behavior, what they're doing and what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a judicial warrant is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
They're not doing that. They're using these
administrative warrants.
Administrative. Thank you. That's
that
the
they
word.
sign themselves.
Yeah.
That they can't do.
It's like the wolf watching the hen house.
Right. Right. All these Republican bros years ago were running around with their pocket constitution to put President Obama or Biden in check. Where are they now? Where are their pocket constitutions now? Where was the NRA when Alex Preddy was murdered?
Mm-hmm.
Where are these organizations that are like, well, we stand up for the Constitution and for people's rights? No, you only do that when you feel like a Republican's rights have been infringed upon.
Yes.
But Alex Preddy was a permit carrying gun owner.
Mm-hmm.
He had a legal right to be there. He had a legal right to carry a weapon.
Yes.
Right. And we watched the ICE agents remove his weapon,
yes,
and then put him on his knees and execute him. And they have not been held accountable. And the NRA, if it wasn't a Republican-only organization, should be standing up for all gun owners, including Alex Preddy, like they claim to do.
Yes, but they won't.
No.
And the term that they used when Kristi Noem was in charge was he was wielding a gun. Wield. You know what the definition of wielding is?
I do.
It means you have it in your hand.
Correct.
And you're
right. So I
and that didn't happen.
Full disclosure.
Yes,
right?
sir.
I am a gun owner. Right. I am
Mm-hmm.
I am a permit holder,
Mm-hmm.
and I often carry a weapon on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I'm comfortable with. I'm trained on. And watching what happened is beyond shocking, and it's unconstitutional. And the fact that the ICE agents that murdered Alex and Renee have not been brought to justice, I take issue with a number of our law enforcement agencies. First and foremost is the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department. Their job, the sheriff's responsibility, was to arrest those murderers.
Yes. Well, we're coming on a break again.
Okay.
See how fast this goes. The term I was looking for that finally a light bulb went off was unanimous consent.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
when the Senate says, I would like unanimous consent that we will fund FEMA, we'll fund the TSA, we'll fund all, and the Republicans were the ones that said nope.
Right.
So don't let them bulldoze you. Anyway, my name's Philip Anthony. We're going to take a break. This is the Downright Upright Show here on AM 950, Progressive Voice of Minnesota. We'll be right back.
Lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see, it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now.
Welcome back to the Downright Upright Show. My name is Philip Anthony, and this is the last segment. Could you believe this went by so quickly, Brian?
I can't. We just sat down and started talking.
I just love you so much.
It's
And-
mutual admiration.
Society. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the FCC a little bit, okay, because I think that's important. So what are your thoughts about Trump's attack dog, Chair Carr, threatening the licenses of local broadcasters over news coverage he deems to be fake, which isn't fake, regarding the war and other Trump policies? Is the First Amendment being eroded by this administration, and how can we stop it?
Yes, the First Amendment is being eroded, just like all the other amendments,
Yes.
just like the Bill of Rights, just like the Constitution in general.
Mhm.
This administration is just shredding it, and Congress, whether it's the House or the Senate, are letting them get away with it.
Mhm.
The Supreme Court has thrown a couple of checks their way, not enough in my opinion. And the only way that we're going to stop it, the only thing that we can do
Is-
peacefully
Mhm.
is vote them out.
Oh yeah.
Every one of them, top to bottom. If they have an R next to their name, they are mega Republicans. There are no Republicans left. There is just mega, and they need to go away. There's a small country in Europe that in the 30s and 40s did things like this, and they caused a second world war.
Yeah.
And we are marching down the same path. And if Americans don't wake up and don't realize what's going on and don't oppose this wannabe dictator, wannabe fascist, like he says, I want to be a dictator. I think Americans would like a dictator. No, we wouldn't. And it is our responsibility to vote them all out of office.
Yeah. Now, if you had a talk show, just
Mhm.
saying, on a liberal station, just asking for a friend here. If you had a talk show and it was progressive,
Mhm.
and the FCC said to you, I want you to talk nicely about the war now, that we're doing an amazing job in Iran, and the president and the prices really aren't going up, that what would you do? Would you continue doing it, or would you say, you know what, I'm done? Because I don't know if I could do that. Lie.
I would force them to take me off the air.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the type of person that if I believe and I know that it's right, and you're telling me that I can't do it, I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to force you to take me. I'm going to force you to remove me. I have principles. I know you have principles. I know the station has principles, and the free press is the fourth state, and the free press
Absolutely.
has the responsibility, not just the right, not just the obligation, but the responsibility to hold our government accountable,
Yes.
regardless of party.
Hmm.
That is the job of the free press,
Hmm.
and that's why the First Amendment is right there at the top. That's what it was all about. Our founding fathers stood on street corners and made their case, and they were oppressed, they were murdered, that's how all of this started, because the right to free speech was infringed upon by the crown, and we are seeing it from the Oval Office now. It is, in my opinion, when you look at what happened at ABC and all the reporters that they are forcing out, Stephen Colbert, we were talking about him a little bit off air, the things that they're doing, that this is some of the most un-American rhetoric and actions that we have seen. And for the life of me, when we had the general strike here in Minneapolis on the coldest day of the year at a high of 23 below. Proudly, my partner and I went out in it to protest. We started at the airport. We were down in Minneapolis, and we were there the following week as well. My grandfather was a Teamster, and he was in the general strike in 1934. He was actually wounded by one of the police officers. A ricochet hit him in the leg. And I was proud to carry the family's tradition and be a part of the next general strike in 2026. Because that taking to the streets, a general strike on a national level is something that, in my opinion, and Sarah Nelson, the president of the Flight Attendants Association, right? You see her on a number of shows. She has called for it. I support that. I support a national general strike, because if we don't show this government that we will stand up to them, what the FCC is doing is the minimum of what we're going to see.
Well, yeah, and we fought a revolutionary war against the crown,
Right.
because the crown was taxation against without representation, the Boston Tea Party, yada yada yada.
Right.
Like we're being tariffed now without any. We didn't vote for this.
Nope.
I don't remember voting to pay up the wazoo for everything. So again, we have to get back to the fundamentals of democracy.
Correct.
This is not happening right now. So thank you for that.
I agree,
for bringing that up. I that's
agree
why I
with you.
talk about the FCC, because freedom of speech is so essential. Without freedom of speech, we're no longer America.
Right.
Okay. So do you believe many voters will remember that Republicans refused to restore the Medicaid subsidies for struggling Americans and voted for cuts in medical funding that may result in hospital closings all over the country? Or are many of them too embedded in the cult? Now, to piggyback on that, I'm hearing, and this is a rumor, obviously, so but I'm hearing it like loudly, that there are certain hospitals in the Twin Cities that may close because a lot of those hospitals rely on Medicaid funding for people that are not quite able to support to pay for their own health care. What say you?
I believe that voters will remember that, and I believe that for a couple of reasons. One, in rural Minnesota, in outstate Minnesota, they'll feel the pain, and two, every Democrat needs to tell people every day from now to the election about the cuts to healthcare. The fact that we can't have free healthcare or subsidized healthcare or Medicare for all or single payer. We can't have any of that because we give all our money to other countries, because we use it for war. We're not taking care of our population. The government's responsibility is to take care of its population, and healthcare is a right. And the fact that we're spending billions of dollars a day on bombs.
$1 billion a day for this war, when we could give everybody health care for just 2 days of it.
Right.
And I am so upset about this. I can't begin to tell you it makes me angry.
Or the tens of billions of dollars that the president just gives himself in lawsuits, or the coins that he's selling, or the $10 billion he gave himself through the Board of Peace. Like the grift at the expense of the American taxpayer and the lives that it's costing. People are dying because they don't have health care, and this guy and the administration are just stuffing it in their pockets, right?
We have a minute and a half. I just want to say, because this is an LGBT focused show.
Yes.
Now, normally I give the open forum. We don't have that much time.
I'm sorry.
No, there was so much to talk about. It's not your fault. It's my fault too. I asked you too many questions. Talk about the LGBT. Why you were at Burnsville Pride, and why you support the LGBT community. Why is it so important to you, and to uplift before we end the show today?
Because the way this administration is going after that community, it's wrong.
Demonizing. Yeah.
Yes, it's a community of people. The LGBTQ community should not be demonized. They have every right that everyone else does. I don't support or believe in discrimination, whether it's sexism, racism. Like, we're all on an equal playing field, right? The religion,
Brian?
the religious folks, they don't get to tell you how to live your life. You don't get to tell them how to live their lives. Here's what we all get to do. We all get to just live our lives how we want.
Don't throw. It says in the Bible, don't throw stones if you have a plank in your own eye.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, thank you, Brian, for
Thank
being
you.
on the Downright Upright show. You're amazing,
Anytime.
and we got to do this again really
Whenever you want.
soon.
I love it.
I love it. You're amazing.
You
Thank
too.
you again for doing this. My name is Philip Anthony. This has been the Downright Upright show. We're going to say goodbye. We love you. Kiss you. Tune in next week as well. 5 o'clock. Love you. Bye.